to our fourth Trebles Talk show.
Hey, I am so excited for today's program.
Me too. Oh my gosh, today's show is dedicated to those who love the arts.
Yes, we are very soon going to have a number of Treble members joining us, and they all share a passion for theatre.
Yes, Mar, you forgot to mention our special guest though.
Oh yes, of course.
Yes.
We have a special guest today, and this is a Maltese person who graduated in the arts, lives in England, and is now working in the industry.
Yes, so many of us have questions to ask this guest and can't wait to hear about their crazy life.
I am so curious.
Me
So
too.
I think it is time to introduce our trebles.
Yes, okay, so today we have 12 treble guests.
Oh, 12.
Full house today.
Hi everyone! How's everyone today?
Hi.
So let us start these introductions. Our first member is our good buddy, Mario Vella. Now, Mario has been training in performing arts for the past 14 years and has performed in various local pantomimes and musicals. Yes, I've seen you multiple times. He wishes to further his theatre studies abroad and hopes to work in the industry part-time. Very good.
Okay, then we have Hannah Micallef. Hannah, could you just wait for us? Hi. Okay, so Hannah has been involved in the arts for the past 9 years through both group and individual classes. She also plans to attend inclusive dance and singing workshops.
Next, we have Nathan Schembri-Rogers. Nathan, can you wait for us? There he is. Nathan is currently studying classical piano and voice with hopes of studying opera further and eventually doing it professionally. Wow, that's impressive, Nathan. He also loves musical theatre and has been doing tap for 2 years. Tap's so impressive. And also group acting and MT classes. Well done, Nathan.
Next, we have Emma Kutayar. So Emma has been training her voice since the age of 4 and acting since she was 6. In the future, while studying law, she would like to keep performing as a part-time job. Wow.
Yes, Emma. Number 5 is Sean Atapardi. Sean has been attending theatre classes which involve drama, voice, and dance since the age of 4. That is a fun package. He's currently working towards achieving his grade 8 musical theatre exam and hopes to further his studies abroad. Ooh, have an ambitious one.
Next, we have Isaac Mifsud. So, yes, there he is. So, Isaac always had an appreciation for the arts from a young age and hopes to have a future in it. He dreams to make it on West End and even Broadway, but knows it will be a tough path. However, he is prepared to work super hard.
Yep, agreed. Our 8th guest is Emily Camilleri. Emily's hobbies are drama and musical theatre. She has participated in various workshops in London and last summer also performed at Her Majesty's Theatre with her drama club. Wow, that's so cool.
Okay, next we have Mr. Paolo Micallef.
Hi.
So, Paolo has been training for 14 years in the arts. He loves the freedom that the arts gives you to play any persona you can imagine. He plans to further his studies in this and achieve his bachelor's degree, and hopes then trying his luck at schools abroad and auditions for cruises to build his portfolio. Wow.
Wonderful, Paolo. Our next member is Nicole Portelli. So Nicole is 18 years old in the hope of attending university in Malta this October, achieving a law degree. Yes. She has been involved in theatre since a very young age. I think all of us have.
Yeah, I think so. So our next member is Nathaniel Attard. Hi,
Hello.
So Nathaniel is 15 years old who has a huge passion for music and theatre. He loves the arts and in the future would like to further his studies in musical theatre abroad, especially the UK, and hopefully performing on a West End stage. We have a lot of people who would like to perform on a West End stage.
And lastly, a regular of ours is Emily Pach Delicata. So Emily is 15 years old, loves musical theatre so much that it is one of her subjects at school. I'm in love, I wish. At the age of 4, she started classical ballet. 2 years ago, started training her voice and also started learning the piano this year. Emily hopes to continue performing as a part-time job. Impressive, great.
Now something about us. I'm going to start talking about Maria. Maria has been performing since she was 3 years old and enjoys all aspects of the arts. As much as she loves musicals, she would much rather act in a play, as it gives a priority to acting, which is her strongest suit.
And Faye has been studying musical theatre for 12 years. She's now studying performance arts full-time and hopes to further her studies abroad. She's very positive and loves to dream big. I agree with that sentence, that last sentence. Hi, guys.
Hi,
Wow,
everyone.
there are so many today. This is going to be so fun.
Yes. Okay, so guys, are we ready to hear more about our special guest and ask questions? Any questions you may have?
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
Okay, so our special guest is, I would like a drum roll from the rest of you, please. Drum roll. Musical Theatre and Momentum Performing Arts Academy in England, was brought up in the arts at a very young age.
He has taken part in various performances locally and internationally. He is part of an international vocal group and also performs on cruise liners.
And something that we all have in common, this person, is that he is also a Treble Makers OG, so he's been there from the very beginning.
Yep. So ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one and only Peter Camilleri.
Hi, Peter.
Hi guys, how's everyone doing?
Hi. Good.
So, Peter, how does it feel to be involved in a new treble event? It's been like so long since
It
the last time
has.
I heard from you was 2011.
2011, that's a long time ago. It's great to be back. I mean, I love what you guys are doing. I saw a couple of shows a couple of weeks ago and I think it's great and it's such a positive vibe that you're spreading out and it's really nice to be back and to be on the show. Thanks for having me.
So Peter, as you can see, we have a lot of youths who are really eager to speak to you and just know about your wonderful life. So how about you start by introducing us to how this life of yours began?
So, well, from the very beginning, let's see. I left Malta in 2014. We had some workshops up in the UK and I was lucky enough to be part of the group that went up with DLS Productions back then. Now it's Art House. And we went up and we did a couple of workshops and we had no idea what was going to happen at the end of it. And when we came back to Malta, we did a little showing for everything. We had some of the teachers come down to Malta. And at the end, they told us that they're offering scholarships to certain students who they thought performed very well. And I was lucky enough to be one of the chosen ones. And I managed to go up that summer in September up to London and study at Margaret Howard Theatre College, which is now Momentum Performing Arts.
That's so cool.
And I guess from there, I had 3 years of college in musical theatre, specialized more in dance and singing. I used to act before because my mother, Luciane Camilleri, is a drama teacher, and that's how I started to get into all of this, really. So I didn't really have a lot of dancing experience and I used to sing just in my free time. So it was a very nerve-wracking kind of 3 years for me, especially at the very beginnings, because all these people who are in the college have been training since they were quite young. So being there as like quite a new, fresh face in a completely different country was quite a lot to handle. But, you know, you get through it. That's life. And I graduated in 2017 and I've been spending the past couple of years just trying to work in the industry.
Wow, well done. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Guys, how about we start asking some questions?
Yes, Peter, some of us are like dying to get into all of this musical theatre business.
I can't wait. Can't wait.
So, I'm going to start with Paolo. Paolo, do you have any questions to ask Peter?
Yes. Was performing arts always something that you wanted to do, or did you have any other plans before eventually?
That's a great question. That's a great question, Paolo. I actually did have other plans. Since it was something that came out of the blue, I wasn't really planning for it. Now, it's always been a dream of mine to be in musical theatre or stage or film acting. That's always been a big dream of mine. But living in Malta, you don't think that's really going to happen unless you get a big chance. So I was actually training to become an engineer. I had just finished sixth form and I was about to enter university when all of this happened. And I said, you only get one chance to do musical theatre abroad studying on a scholarship. So I decided to take it and I haven't looked back since. But I always liked maths and physics. So if I ever had to retire from this, I would love to go back to that.
That's so different.
Yeah, it's a bit of a crazy story, but...
Nicole?
How long did it take for you to adapt to your new school in England? Because obviously from Malta to England, there's quite a big gap.
There's quite a big difference. It took me a while, I'm not going to lie. I went up there, I had two of my friends who also got the scholarship. So we found a place together. But I I have to say the first couple of months were quite challenging. They were quite rough because you have to get used to living by yourself. I was 18 at the time and I was living by myself without my parents. So I have to do all the cooking, all the cleaning at home. And I also have to balance being at college for most of the day. I used to wake up at around 6 o'clock in the morning, go to college at about 7:30, stay there till, let's say, 6 o'clock earliest, and we used to keep on going till sometimes 9, 10 o'clock in the evening. Then you have to get home, do all your washing, cook, make sure you're eating well to stay healthy. So it's a lot to handle. And I mean, you get homesick as well. It's not easy being away from your family and just in an instant, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, everything has its challenges, and I think I've become a better person because I had those challenges and I managed to overcome them.
And you're learning from them too, like new experiences, obviously.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, college itself was completely new to me. So before I left, I had a couple of dance classes at Alison White's studio. She was very kind enough to give us a couple of lessons just to introduce us to the world of dance, and so we had no idea. And I think that really helped me. And the teachers back up in London were so welcoming and they were so patient with all the students. So it was really great, and that managed to take a bit of the pressure off, which was nice.
That's great. Anna, do you have any questions for us?
What is your favorite show?
My favorite show? Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Because I love so many shows. Like you can never pick a favorite, but I think right now, I would have to say I think Dear Evan Hansen. I'm in love with Dear Evan Hansen.
Yes, fully agree.
Dream role right
Musical
now.
theater nerds.
Dear Evan Hansen. You've got Dear Evan Hansen. You've got Hamilton, which is just incredible.
Of course.
And then I think you have the classics like Merrily We Roll Along. I did that in college and I fell in love with it. And I mean there are so many, but yes, I would say Dear Evan Hansen, and I have to stop there because I just keep talking about it.
I agree with your answer completely.
Okay, Sean.
When you were in college, did you ever have doubts and like worries that maybe you took the wrong choice?
Yes, I can't say that I haven't, because everyone has doubts. I still have doubts. Every day I sometimes think about, have I made the right choice and all that, and it's part of the process because this career path is one of the hardest, especially now, especially with this whole virus going about.
Yeah.
We're completely out of work right now and there's nothing we can really do about it. And it just makes you think, if I had a more secure, stable job, or if I studied something that wouldn't be so fluid, something stable that I could make a good income of, that I could start a family and get a house in the future and all that. The things to think about. But I mean, everything has its risks, everything has its pros and cons. And I'm just happy doing this for now, whilst I'm still young. At least I think I'm young. I don't know. But yeah, it's just something that I love to do. And I say I might as well do it now.
Yeah.
If not, I'd have regretted it in the future.
Emily.
What or who was your inspiration?
My inspiration. I have a lot of role models. I think my parents have to be the biggest too. My dad is a very hardworking man, and he's always taught us to do what we want to do and do it with full passion, and that stuck with me through all my years in whatever happens. And my mum, I mean, she got me into this whole acting business in the first place, so without her I wouldn't really be here what I'm doing today. But I think inspirations in the musical theatre business, I would have to say that Jeremy Jordan is one of my biggest inspirations that I look up to. I watch all his videos, every show, every song that he's sung, I try to sing and I have in my repertoire. I'm his number one fan, and I managed to actually see him in London, funnily enough. He came to do a little concert there and I wanted to cry. It was so great.
Isaac.
You were 18 and living with your friends. How did you manage to support yourself having to study and living abroad?
Thankfully, my parents were supporting me financially and all that, because when you're in college, you're a full-time student, so you can't really work a part-time job. So it's very hard to get an income, and rent in London is not cheap. So thankfully, I had my parents supporting me. But